Sixers game is finally over with. They finally got a W. The series is now 2-1. Uh, Let me know how you feel about that, because if it wasn't for you know Harris, we would have blew them out by more points, bro. Tell
Tobias
me how you
Harris is
feel.
he's the smoked turkey and grandma greens. That's what Tobias Harris is, but it's all good. Joel Embiid told y'all he was going to win this series, and when the big fellas say that, you grab onto the cape. Superman on the way. That's what he did. 50 points tonight. 50 points. People always talk about Joel. He don't do what he do in the regular season. In the playoffs, he had a 50 burger tonight on you jabronis. Nobody could deal with him. I love what I saw. The team played with a lot of assertiveness. You got Kelly Oubre stepping up. Campaign. Shout out the campaign doing his thing. But
Facts.
tonight, it's about Joel Embiid and his redemption. He was out for justice like Seagal, baby. Shout out Joel Embiid, man.
Nah, yeah. Facts. He definitely did his thing. Uh, Ultimately, do you feel like that was more of a thing on offense or more of a thing of their assertiveness on defense? Because they they've held a starter to 5 points, and these last two games he actually helped the Knicks win a game. So, with that being said, even though they really couldn't do too much with Jalen Brunson, he still got 39 points. But like, can we get this? Can we get this style of play from the Sixers and MSG if they have to go back, which they will?
Absolutely. This team is prepared. Nick Nurse is one of the best coaches, X's and O's guys in the game. The Sixers are going to win this series. They said, listen, we got robbed. Everybody's seen it. Game two. When
Yeah.
Joel had the damn interview, what he said, we're going to win this series. They came out tonight. They played with a lot of defensive intensity. Shout out to Kelly Oubre on the defensive side of the ball. Joel Embiid on a gimp leg, affecting and being the rim protector he is, affecting the game how he do on the defensive side of the ball. Shout out to Joel. Everybody came to play campaign. Like I said, campaign came through, and that was a boost that we needed. Shout out the campaign.
Right.
And
He
shout
definitely
out to the
stepped up.
Philadelphia fans too, man. It was mad New York Knicks fans in there. I like
Of
a Knicks
course.
Sixers rivalry.
Yeah. People
I,
love the
I
Knicks right
like
now,
that. I
man.
like that.
That's a very good team. And just the impact that they had this season, you already know the Knicks fans come. You know what I mean? We cousins basically. New York, right there. You know how we be in and out of the city. So, uh, with that being said, next thing, the big three finally put out there the whole contract terms for the Caitlin Clark. That TV loud. That TV loud, bro.
Oh yeah, is it? Is it? Is it? I got you. I got you. I got you.
Hey, but Ice Cube finally exposed all of the terms that he gave Caitlin Clark, which was over $15 million, with team ownership as well as giving her 50% on merchandise profits and a stake in the company of Big Three. Now that you hear that deal, do you do you honestly feel like she dropped the ball with not taking it, or do you feel like she's going to brighten the future for the WNBA?
Can Can you hear me?
Yeah,
All right, hold on. Let me get my screen right. Let me get my screen right. So look, I'm gonna say Caitlin Clark might have dropped the ball on that contract after seeing how much she's making from the WNBA. Those are
yeah,
peanuts.
80,000, like about 80,000, $76,000 a year.
That's peanuts compared to what she could have got in like one full season when it's not a taxing season of Big Three basketball. The mathematics work for me. I don't know why she didn't take that deal, but she did come up on a $28 million Nike deal
Uh,
recently.
she would have got that no matter if she was on the Big Three or the NBA. Do we agree with that one?
I agree. I
Right.
agree. I agree. I agree. I agree with that. Absolutely. So, look, Caitlin Clark, she probably felt as though the NBA is definitely WNBA going to be lit this year with all the new talent that's coming in. Shout out
That's
to Angel
facts.
Reese. They're
Yeah.
gonna be driving up the sales on jerseys, ticket sales, TV viewership. They're gonna have a great year this year. So maybe she might get a nice little kickback off of that. Who knows?
All right, my thing is ultimately they don't really have it to where it's enough profits to where they can even give her funding if she generate more viewership in comparisons to what she did. Obviously, draft day, the seat sold out for that. The viewership was as high as it's ever been just from that day in itself. So clearly they are going to be watching her. But what if she gets to the point to where this team that she's trying to help develop don't get anywhere? Then what? Does the
The Indiana
WNBA go
Fever.
back to its original form?
All right, so I've seen ladies be in situations like Shamika Holdsclaw when she was drafted to the Washington Mystics. She was a hell of a player at her time as a Tennessee Volunteer, one of the greatest that ever picked up a basketball in female basketball. So she wasn't as dominant a player as she was at Tennessee as she was supposed to be at Washington. She had some great years, and that happens sometimes. Sometimes people don't live up to the hype, but with Caitlin Clark, everybody projecting her as, Diana Taurasi level, what I mean, Tamika Catchings level. We talking about elite basketball
Yeah,
players,
cream of the
what I
crop.
mean, of that era, the Maya Moores of that era. She's gonna be in that class of women great basketball players. She's gonna be around for a long time too, and she has boosted the WNBA. I would say
Yes.
she's going to be one of the faces of the NBA already. I would say Asia Wilson is the best WNBA player in the game right now, but because of the celebrity and the attention that she brings, she definitely going to run up the WNBA numbers like they haven't seen in a long time.
Nah, yeah, right. Without a doubt, I totally do believe that. Ultimately, some people do believe that she's obviously just hyped and marketed in a manner to where she's not like that great of a player. But her numbers are very exceptional, as well as the type of performance that she put on for the crowd. And a lot of people neglect that as a statistic, but it really does matter. You know what I mean? How engaging do you get the crowd? This is why when comparing a Steph Curry and a Kyrie Irving is completely different simply because of crowd engagement just by itself. I'm not saying that Steph is not better. I'm not saying that Steph did not accomplish more. What I'm saying is when it comes to gameplay and shit that he doing, looking away, doing this sleepy shit and all of that, he engaged with the crowd in a manner that a Kyrie Irving doesn't necessarily care to do. But they're both, hella five point guards that we all love to watch. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Kyrie Irving is a showman in his own way. The way he break people down off the dribble. He might arguably have the greatest handle in basketball. Lay you up with either hand. He's a layup guy. He does it in his own way. He's
Yes.
not as vocal where Stephen Curry will rub it in after
Right.
you shoot a three and turn his back on you while that
I mean,
shit goes splash.
I was gonna say right, and the crowd loved that, especially the kids. You looking up to somebody like that as a hero, and you see all that confidence oozing from them. It only encourages you to be that great. And speaking of Steph Curry, he won the Clutch Player of the Year. They gave it to him for a lot of statistical data. I personally don't agree with it. I feel as though SGA deserved it because he basically, you know, played on the hardest side of the Western Conference of the NBA. On top of that, he basically kept them the number one seed for the mass majority of the year. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I feel like that's a bigger impact, especially because the last 2 years, Thunder was not making noise, let alone making it to the freaking playoffs. Uh, so with that being said, here's the stats for why they chose him for the clutch play of the year. Uh, Points scored. 189 points in clutch moments was scored from Steph Curry, which we know at the end of the day, when the game is on the line, you know what I mean. He is a guy that we
Who
all can
better to
count
get the
on.
ball to, man?
Yes,
Then
yeah,
Steph.
without a doubt. He also hit 32 3-pointers, showcasing his long range shooting ability, in clutch moments, which the three is him. That's his signature. Anybody knows that, he changed the whole game in reference to, the ability of shooting and the depths of shooting that players would even attempt in a professional NBA game. Uh, Also, just his shooting split. Uh, he was 49% from the field in clutch moments, and 45% of clutch moments from beyond the arc, which again, extremely exceptional numbers. But at the same time, they barely made it in comparisons to SGA. Basically, went against vets all season, and they carried that shit, not even losing 30 games. So to each their own. How do you feel about that though?
I mean, it's Stephen Curry, man. Like, he's the definition of clutch. So I understand the Shea Alexander argument. Shea is definitely one of the most clutch guys in the league. He's somebody with the last few minutes in the game. You want the rock in his hands. Absolutely. He's going to make plays. He's going to drive. He can score from all facets. He's definitely improved his three-point shooting. And once he become automatic from there, that's scary. But he's one of the guys. But when you talk about Steph Curry, when you talk about that three-pointer, when you talk about the fear that he drives into other individuals that have to guard him, knowing that he can shoot at any spot, any moment at the flick of a fucking wrist. Come on, man. He's the GOAT. He's the definition, the personified figure for clutchness. He is that, and I ain't even mad at that too much. It's Steph Curry. Yes, they granted they stumbled into the play-in. They had a lot of injuries, a lot of off-court issues going on. But even with that, Stephen Curry been a consistent player, consistently keeping Golden State in games, got them into the play-in. He showed up. Klay Thompson didn't. Hey,
Yeah, without a doubt, it's still a team effort, and I'm not really taking away from him. But at the same time, even with DeMar DeRozan being the finalist, that was somebody who legitimately carried the team. That was struggling. Under 50 wins. I don't even believe they what did they have 40 exactly or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
What was
yeah,
that
yeah.
total? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like people were also upset and felt like he got snubbed out of it. I personally lean towards SGA just because of I feel like he's carrying that team more than the coach is. You know what I mean? And he's positioning these players to win as well as him contributing like astounding numbers night after night. Uh, next next topic. Give me a second. So yeah, I will be actually upset if they granted Rudy Gobert this freaking defensive player of the year.
Why is
Because
that?
I feel like Wemby did something amazing in comparisons to any player on both sides of the court, especially for the type of team that he was on and bearing that responsibility at rookie level. In some cases, people could say this is just was a lucky year, but I personally just see him as you know nothing short of amazing and great. And he just was on a team to where they're in the process of building, so he's carrying them in a manner as if he's been in the NBA for years, but it's just him starting out. So I personally believe he deserved Defensive Player of the Year if anybody. Um, with Rudy Gobert being a close runner up because him averaging that 10 plus 10 a night, it matters. You know what I mean? So
Yep, them
uh,
two blocks matter. They matter, but what you say about Wemby, what he did in his rookie year is remarkable. It's something we never seen before, and we've seen plenty of great defensive players coming into the league. I could go back as far as the Dikembe Mutombos and Alonzo Mournings coming out of Georgetown. You had a lot of great defensive players coming in the league. Ben Wallace is another name. So
yeah, I was gonna say amazing. Yeah,
um, come on, Ben Wallace is one of the illest defensive players to ever play basketball. So I would say that because they have a thing about giving rookies the notoriety, allowing them to be all-star picks, just the name of accolades that they don't like to give rookies. It's very hard for a rookie to even make an all-star team, let alone an all NBA team. So if Victor Wembanyama, if it was fair game, he should be defensive player of the year in my opinion. He was the best rim protector in the league in my opinion. He alters shots. He's a rookie. He already is an effective defensive anchor for his team already. He's only 19, 20 years old. This guy deserves to be, in my opinion, defensive player of the year, hands down. He affects the game in so many facets, offensively, and defensively. You don't find guys like that. He's the self-preserved unicorn, as they like to throw those terms out there. He's
Yeah.
unicorn, and I think he deserved and earned that defensive player of the year. But the deck going to be stacked against them because the writers have a certain way of doing things, and I don't believe they're going to give it to him. I think they're going to rob him to give it to Gobert, even though we know Victor Wembanyama was the best defensive player in the league this year, hands
Yeah,
down.
by far though. Yeah, by far. I feel like it's not even like really a competition. Some nights still giving us 30 points, 7 blocks, 5 steals in one fucking game. You know what I mean? 10
Triple
rebounds,
doubles
12
with
rebounds.
blocks.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, triple doubles. Yeah, triple doubles with blocks. That was fucking crazy. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've never seen nothing like that in the fashion and the speed of the game. With the way that it is now. You know what I mean? Because I
Fact.
feel like it's just like it's much more faster in some cases, especially nights to where he's playing teams to where no one else in his team can hang with these people on offense or defense. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's why I think he deserved it. Just the amount of work that he's put in, has just been amazing. Uh, Next topic. What's your prediction for this Denver Lakers game?
I'm going with the Lakers right now. The score is 31-23,
23. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the Lakers are up. They got punched in the mouth, and they're ready to show that we back in LA. It's showtime. The lights gonna be bright. LeBron showing out. AD has been playing well these last two games.
Yeah, yeah. Without a doubt.
I just feel like Denver overall has the better team because what AD and LeBron give you, and maybe D'Angelo Russell. What about the others? Hachimura, Austin Reeves. What about those guys? The others? Who's going to be the fourth and fifth guy to help out and help give LeBron the relief that
I
he needs?
mean, ultimately, Russell has been in a slump so far.
Of
Even
course.
tonight, he's shooting at 0 and 2, and a total of 0 and 3 so far just in the first quarter. So
So
he's starting off a little colder.
that's why I say Denver have an overall team. They're
Yeah,
starting
of
five,
course.
the best in the league. They have a great coach. They have a good bench. This series is over. I feel like if the Lakers don't win this game tonight, you could bring the broomsticks out the same way the Knicks did to the Sixers in 1989. Bring the brooms out. There won't be a win in Game 4 for the Lakers.
Nah, yeah, I can believe that they'll potentially even be swept or a gentleman sweep. I don't really see them actually really putting up a fight. Uh, and I was watching Gilbert Arenas last night, and he was discussing uh just like the Phoenix Suns and their current gameplay, and basically how Booker and Bill both play the game as if they're shooting guards, which is kind of basically throwing off the chemistry to the team. At this point, with them basically having like a rough season, barely getting by because a lot of the top teams was barely getting by all this season on the Western Conference. Do you still consider what they have as a big three on the Phoenix Suns?
Big three. Devin
Right.
Booker is not the best two guard in the league. He's top three in the entire NBA, if not the best.
Yes.
Kevin Durant is still Kevin Durant.
Yeah. Right.
He's still the guy. He's still that guy. Bradley Bill, he dumbed his game down. Usually, when
Right.
big three is formed, somebody game take a hit. Bradley Bill game took a hit this
Took a
year.
hit. I
He's been
feel like it took a hit hard though, bro.
Oh Lord. But I believe that they don't have a bench. That's what it boiled down to. They have a good enough starting five to compete with other teams, but when those guys need breaks and the others come in off the bench, they don't provide anything. They don't have no depth. They do have Eric Gordon. He's a good six man, but as far as that, they don't have no bigs off the bench they can throw at people. They have a very thin bench, and this is why they are getting beat. They can't compete with the Timberwolves. They have a great team from top to bottom. Anthony Edwards is the guy that make that team go. Carl Anthony Towns is a great number two option. Rudy Gobert knows his role. He's a defensive anchor. He's the guy to hold the defense down and get putbacks and dunks. You got Jalen McDaniels. He is a defensive stopper who can get buckets, and he's getting more confident as every game passed. He showed off his scoring ability, dropping 25 on Durant the other night, if I'm not mistaken. He had a great game. look, from top to bottom, Mike Conley, he's the stability at point guard. That's what the Phoenix Suns don't have. They're lacking a Mike Conley, a guy that could get them in their sweet spots, get them their shots. You got two guys that are shooting guards, and they both trying to figure out how to
Yeah,
hit the
right.
ball to one. That's
Yeah,
not going to work. That's not
yeah.
going to work.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those situations to where people are not necessarily understanding of their rules in comparison to somebody like Denver. Like Denver knows exactly what they're going to do and how they're going to work it. Every game, and that in itself is the reason why I for sure see them at the Western Conference Finals. Now, I do believe in some of these younger teams, and the reason why I do is because I feel like the respect for the older players isn't really there. Like they're not starstruck to play these guys. They actually want to beat these guys. You see how Ant-Man is treating Kevin Durant as if he's not even Kevin Durant. You know what I
That's right.
mean?
That's right. That's
And
right,
the
man.
the games are extremely competitive, right?
I
But
love
my
it.
but my thing is, it gives the young person the edge because he already got the youth on top of him, basically going bucket for bucket with you. You know what I mean? It just keeps his confidence high. And I have the Timberwolves beating them. I did read something about them. They're going to start IT as the PG and primarily let him be the facilitator for everybody else on the court, and probably have Bill come off the bench as the secondary shooting guard, which I feel like honestly enhances their team. How do you feel about that?
If Bradley Beal okay with coming off the bench, if he's not like one of them diva guys that be like, I'm not bench material.
At this point, I don't see him acting like that. I would be surprised.
Okay, I mean,
I
if he feel like that'd be a betterment of the team instead of a detriment for himself, then you know what? I ain't mad at that. He could provide some scoring off the bench. You need
Right.
to do something different. Again, you don't have a Chris Paul there to get everybody in their spots. You can't ask isolation players to become floor generals. That don't work.
I mean, I feel like at that level of maturity with IT, he might possibly be able to work a system to be able to help. As a veteran from the outside looking in, he clearly see what they need, and
He ain't IT of Boston Celtic IT. He about 36,
right.
37-year-old.
No, I understand that. I understand
So
that.
the Phoenix Suns are in trouble, brother. They out of here in 5 games. Gentlemen sweep. Book
Yeah.
it from the
Nah.
West
Yeah.
Philly hit. Book it.
Yeah. I got that. I got that being that. Uh, what's up with your camera? You black.
Hold on.
You probably had it on the side. If you do it cut it off. I tried to put my shit on the side. Where is that? I just had it up here. Come on, let me know something so we can proceed. You know what I mean? What the hell happened? Can I invite him back? Alright, yeah. Yeah, there we go. Hey, so next topic, we got Jerron Boots and is fighting in the city of Philadelphia soon. Of course, the date to be announced. It cut off again, bro. The Can you hear me? Hip. All right, there you go.
There we go.
All right, hey, so uh, Jerron Boots Ennis, he got a match coming up to where he's gonna debut and have his first performance in Philadelphia at this level of boxing. Uh, they had a new purse bid due to him being down with a new promotional team. Uh, to where PBC was offering $2 million for the fight in total, and Matchroom bumped it up to $3.9 million in total, making it to where it was out of that out of that $3.9 million, it was a split for 85-15. So Cody Crowley would be receiving a little over 500,000, Boots would be getting 3 point something. So ultimately, with that being said, we clearly see that him stepping over to this new promotional company was a step up. But overall, what we are more concerned about is the activity. Do you feel like they're going to do what they need to do to keep him active? Or is he going to be forced to step up to a new weight class before then?
What did he say about PBC and the reason why he stepped off? I said it on my
Activity.
platform.
Yeah, activity.
On our platform, I spoke of it and I said he was not getting the money. You gotta understand. We want the Boots Bud fight, but PBC, because he's an outsider, they don't want to provide him another top talent from their stable and potentially giving that fighter a L. PBC is for themselves. They want to keep that money in house. But there was no action for Boots, and they weren't putting up enough money for Boots, as a purse bid for him to play with.
Right.
So Eddie Hearn comes in. He got a bag full of money. He rolled out the Brinks truck. Come on. You a star. We're going to make you a star. PBC never gave you a fight at the Liacouras Center in your hometown, Philly. Over here at Maxstrom, we do that. We're going
Right.
to turn you into the star. And I'm going to make a prediction right here on this platform with my bro. The first fight after he destroyed Cody Crawley, we're going to Conor Ben. We're going to London. We're going to the UK. O2 Arena. Jerron Boots Ennis versus Conor Ben. Then after Boots destroyed Conor Ben, because I got that fight going, 10th round KO TKO, Boots by stoppage. We will get it. We will get the Terrence Bud Crawford Jerron Boots Ennis fight in
Facts.
Saudi Arabia by the Honorable His Excellency Turkey Al Sheikh, and it's going to go down. Bud going to get the money he was looking for to make this fight. Now that he's dealing with the zone, and Boots going to make a big bag in this fight. Those are the three fights that's going to happen. Watch it happen. That's my take right there, bro.
All right, but I'm 50-50 on that. And what you're saying, I feel like it makes a lot of sense. But ultimately, if Sebastian Fundora does not fight Crawford, he's literally in a situation to where he got to give him the belt. So if he got to give him the belt, he will be the W. If he win this next fight and he pass up on the belt, that's two belts. He only need two more to be 3 times undisputed. So at that point, you already doing well for yourself. He built in the house. He posted on his Instagram.
Shout
Do
out.
do you stay at 147 and take the money fight, or do you move up to 154 and become 3 times undisputed and be the first to do it?
So, and we're talking about Bud Crawford here.
Right, Bud
So
Crawford.
Bud Crawford already broke the barrier for two-time undisputed champion, unified champion. He the first to do that. I think he would want to go after the 154 titles. It's a lot of money over there. I would say, like I said before on many posts that we've done, I would like Boots to get the belts, but drop those belts at 147. Go ahead up at 154 and let the young lion dominate the 147 division. Let the young lion dominate 147. But give up them belts. Go ahead, take Fundora out. You might get the Earl Spence fight. You know what I mean? That might go down. It's plenty of fights at 154. Go ahead and drop them belts. But if you feel like you want to stop this notion that Boots is on your level and you want to prove to the world, just like you proved last July that you were better than Earl Spence, what fight would be better than seeing Jerron Boots Ennis versus Terrence Bud Crawford? That would be a mega fight. That would be an instant hit. And it'd be arguably one of the greatest fights we'll ever see. I'm stamping that.
Yeah, that's facts. I totally understand that. All right, so Derek James filed a lawsuit on Earl Spence.
Mhm.
Uh, and in the court documents, it did state that they agreed upon his coach purse, which was 10%, as well as another percentage which hasn't been publicly put out there. Another percentage for him to make money via the pay-per-view buys. So
Okay.
ultimately, I'm not sure if he has it to where he has to provide the actual analytics and numbers to him.
Yeah.
But they publicly announce it, and we get to receive that data after a few weeks of them basically like doing the numbers. So my thing is, they got into a dispute. They end up separating because Earl Spence don't want to pay him. If this is something that's not in contract, should Earl Spence be paying them, or do you feel like Earl Spence is just being low down dirty and not abiding the contract?
Shame. He's a low down dirty shame. Shame. Damn, Earl. What Jay Z say? It was all good just a week ago. Damn, Earl. Come on, babe. This man been in your corner since you was a youngster. You feel
Right.
me? This is somebody that's like an old head figure for you, man. You know what I mean?
More like father figure in the case of coaching,
For
if you want to be
sure.
technical, right?
For sure. So that relationship alone. Now, again, motherfuckers not entitled to do shit for the next person. If somebody decide to do something, it's out the kindness of their heart. All right, let's make that. Let's establish that. But this is your trainer. This is somebody that been in your corner most of your whole boxing career, if not all of it. You
Shit,
got
it took him
to
to the top. Took him to the top at that though too.
You gotta take care of your people. You gotta do right by your people. You can't get funny when you start to see the money. You can't do that. I don't want to tell nobody what to do with their money. They're gonna get
Right.
that shit figured out in court. But it don't look good, Earl. It look like nasty work. Nasty work. And will you be the same dog that you were, that Derek James helped build, mold, and craft? Will you have the same dog in you? I've seen guys go from their old trainers. Best case scenario, James Kirkland was a beast with Ann Wolf. And what happened when he started switching trainers? He got knocked out. He ain't had the same dog, the same intensity. Ann Wolf knew his training regimen. She knew what she could get out of him, what buttons to press to get out of him. Other trainers not going to be able to get that out of you. Derek James has a certain relationship where you should value that. If it's a couple dollars, buy him off a couple dollars, bro.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, he's suing them for $5 million. Uh, for of course terms that they had in the breach of the contract and fraud case, as well as damages. So it's a little bit more than what he initially had to pay him. Hopefully this kind of goes into a settlement, and even if they don't necessarily settle their differences, it don't necessarily have to end in bad blood after them basically being at the top of their game. The one thing that did strike me and kind of like threw me off in regards to like this whole core issue with Derek James and Earl Spence was the fact that Derek James said he believed that he wasn't compensated properly for other matches. So with that being said, why didn't you bring an accountant to be able to sit down and crunch numbers to make sure that it makes sense? You know what I mean? Or was it one of those things to where you just trust him so much that when he said everything is good, I got you, and you just was like, all right, I
That's
trust you.
how
I trust you.
that's how it go, bro. Motherfuckers, that's one of our issues within our own community. Motherfuckers don't want to handle the business. The business. Cause yeah, you can honor a word. Word agreements are cool. But when things get tricky and sticky, everybody want to start acting iffy. You feel me?
All
Come
right.
on, man. Like if it's an honorable handshake and we agreed to something, honor that shit, bro. I'm quite sure he didn't want to take it to paperwork probably with this guy. I watched you grow up. You my youngin.
Nah, yeah, that's a fact. Ultimately, yeah, like I said, I would like for them to resolve it. Uh, and with that being said, currently we're almost at halftime. 4 minutes and 30 seconds till halftime. Uh, the Nuggets are down by 6 against the Los Angeles Lakers. I see the Nuggets coming back and taking this shit, man. As far as the numbers though, uh, Jokic is starting off fast, and I feel like typically when he starts off real fast, the game goes really well. Jamal Murray started off a little bit slow. He didn't really start shooting until the second quarter. Um, LeBron started off fast too, which makes this is a pretty neck and neck game. And AD, he's actually carrying these guys right now. Hopefully, he can keep the same energy and actually at least look half decent. You know what I mean, and go out on the shield. Um, Hey man, I'm just saying, there ain't no point to like fumble it. When you a star, you still gotta play no matter what, man. You
Hey,
know, it's just basically like, oh, and then the last topic to close out with is the fact on how unforgiving people are towards Devin Haney for actually giving them the fights that they want to see. I'm kind of getting to the point to where I'm kind of growing bitter to the audiences, which I understand that they're primarily casuals and don't respect the sport. But you complain about these guys not fighting each other and not giving you the fights that you want. Then when they give you the fight and somebody loses in a rough manner, we basically treat him as if he wasn't trying to entertain us at the end of the day.
hey,
Because he got hit with a contract rope a dope. If Ryan Garcia was 5.1 pounds, the fight would have been off. And Ryan Garcia would have had to pay a fine for not making the fight happen. He came over. If Devin Haney decided that day he did not want to take that match because Ryan Garcia wasn't on weight, and I'm not blaming weight on why he lost. I'm just saying professional contracts. If Devin Haney did not honor the fact that he still was heavy and took the fight, and him drinking the beer and shit on the freaking scale, we would have called him pussy and been talking about him as if he was the one that didn't, you know, drain himself for him to make that fucking weight. And
hey.
then you come in, Devin Haney wasn't on his actual game. He get knocked out because he didn't respect Ryan Garcia. Wow, he got caught sleeping. But now we treating this man as if, he just a nobody and he never was shit. And now people want to review his resume and all of that crazy stuff. I honestly don't like that. Yeah, Haney was my favorite at the end of the day, but still, he's actually entertaining us and giving us the fights that we want to see. We'll probably never see, no matter how much sense it makes, a Javante Ryan Garcia 2 at a heavier weight. You know what I mean?
You got one fighter, his promoter saying any fight involving Ryan Garcia will be done on his terms. That's what Oscar said.
Listen, I understand that. I understand. I understand that. But at the same time, Javante got a more polished record. So, I feel like the negotiations with that is definitely going to be choppy. And if Ryan Garcia really won it, because it is a lot of money to be made, he's either
It,
going to
it,
have
it
to.
comes with a clause, though. Is
Of
it
course.
worth taxing your body again? Why you think he didn't make weight this fight?
Hey, this will come with it, though. My whole thing is it's gonna come with that clause, but fighting boots gonna come with a clause. The IBF belts come with a clause.
For sure, absolutely. But he
So
can't cut. It's different when you moving up weight. He
yeah,
can't.
I know.
But he not fighting Tank again. Because Tank, it ain't Tank. Let me make this perfectly clear. Tank want to fight these guys. And he will fight them every 3 months if he could. But
He
his
fight once a year, bro.
handlers,
He ain't doing that.
if he would want to, but if his handlers, Leonard, Slick Leonard, fake ass Ryan Isley, and Floyd Mayweather, if they didn't have the stranglehold and the strings that they could pull with the boxing politics, because they're a part of that. That's why you get weight drain clauses. That's why you get fighters moving up 2 weight classes to fight Javante. It ain't Javante. He want to fight these guys. I blame his handlers. And they will not allow a fight with Tank and Ryan Garcia to happen unless the stipulation is made. And Ryan won't agree to that again.
I mean, it possibly could. We seen Javante Davis fight at 140 pounds. Uh, it might can happen at like a catch weight, but I
Better
don't really. He
throw
started this
it like
last camp off at 138 pounds, bro. He's not a big guy, and then he's short as shit on top of it. So it's like I don't. The weight is not necessarily like beneficial to him. You know what I mean? But he is more disciplined than what he was when he took that Barrios because pandemic Javante Davis was out of fucking shape by round 7 fighting a 40-year-old Gamboa. You know what I mean? He really couldn't get himself together in the corner. He was going through it. You seen he was fatigued. He ain't really trained long enough for him to be in shape for that fight. But I do feel like if he do step up, it'll be a different type of Tank. But I feel like the money got to make sense.
Oh,
They
it
probably
will.
got to give him 80 mil, 100 mil for that fight.
Oh, they're gonna double what they made the first fight.
No,
That
I feel like that would quadruple it if
oh
anything.
man.
I feel like that'd be one of the biggest fights because fight fans is coming to see Javante, and then all of the influences, all of the people that he influences coming to see Ryan Garcia, especially with a performance like what he did with Devin. You know what I mean? Now he on much watch TV right now.
And I hate that. I hate seeing him on podcasts popping his shit. It killed me to see
It
that.
shouldn't. He doing his thing, bro. He did his thing.
Oh, it killed me.
I feel like it was more so you lost by like you beat him because he lined himself up, but at the same time you still beat him. I can't deny that left hook
I
went to
can't
work.
take that away from him. He
Yeah.
did his thing. I'm conscious enough to call it how it happened. I said Ryan Garcia ain't have a chance in hell. I gotta own that. And
Right,
that's
right,
what
right.
killed me. I gotta go before this camera and admit to this that this turkey, Ryan Garcia, like I told you, if this was equivalent to basketball, I would equate what happened Saturday night to somebody going 9 for 10 for the free throw line. That was just the one miss. If that fight happened 9 other times, I'm taking Devin Haney. That was bullshit. He got him on a good night with the antics to build up the fight. Made Devin Haney not want to box and want to fight. And that's where Devin Haney went wrong at, man.
Hey man, hey, my fault to skip from boxing to basketball, you guys. But Russell still don't got no fucking points, bro. And he got 14 minutes playing so far in the second quarter at 1 minute and 30 seconds, bro. I just was arguing with someone because they were talking about putting him on a ticket. I'm like, bro, he should not put this dude on a ticket. He's super high risk right now, man, and like volatile, man. Like you don't
I'm
know.
scared to put him on a ticket, bro. He one of them guys I keep on the cupboard.
Yeah, I mean during the regular season, you know what I mean, for 2 threes, yeah, he would do his thing, but like during playoffs, he on bullshit. But with that being said, we're gonna get out of here, bro. Thanks for stopping through. Can you hear me?